Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever Seeking Empath. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms, and today's reading is Alice in Wonderland themed. So I've wanted to do an Alice in Wonderland themed reading for a while, but right now, August to me feels insane. It feels completely confusing and topsy-turvy, and like I have no idea what's going on. It's very chaotic right now. So I think a lot of people are also feeling that same kind of energy. So what better time to do an Alice in Wonderland themed reading than when things feel completely confusing and nonsensical. So, before we get started, I do want to remind everyone that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate for everybody, so just take the messages that you feel are meant for you and disregard the rest. Also, if you enjoy this reading, please like, share, subscribe, and comment if you feel so inclined. It really does help me out. It helps out my channel, and then you get to see when I've posted new content right away. So, thank you to those of you who have already subscribed as well. I truly appreciate it. So we have two piles here today. I know I usually do three, but I only have two Alice in Wonderland themed tarot decks, so that's what we're using today. So pile one is the Tarot in Wonderland, so it's a really gorgeous deck. You can kind of get a sense for the art style here. And then pile two is the Disney Alice in Wonderland themed deck. So I love both of these decks. They're really great. But just let your intuition guide you to a pile. It doesn't necessarily need to be the deck that you like more, just whichever one you can't take your eyes off of or whichever one you're feeling very pulled to, that is your pile. I'm going to put timestamps in the description box and in the comments below, and we are going to get started now with pile number one. Hi group one. So if you chose the Tarot in Wonderland as your pile, then this is your reading, so welcome. We are going to start as usual with your tarot and oracle cards and then do your charms at the end. So make sure that you stay tuned for that so that you can get your full reading. And for the charms, I actually threw in some story cubes as well, just for some extra messages. So we'll see if any of those come out in your charm reading. We're just going to figure out what the deck has to say about this energy, what's going on, and what you can do about it. So starting with your tarot, you have the Fool, the High Priestess, and Strength. So just from your tarot alone, this is definitely some big, like, major chaotic energy. It doesn't seem like chaos, but the Fool is like jumping into the unknown. That's really what it is that leap of faith into the unknown. It's Alice going down the rabbit hole. And right now that's where it feels like we're at. With the High Priestess, you have no idea what's going on. Maybe your intuition is telling you something, but you're not exactly sure what it means yet. But I feel like you are very tuned in with your spirituality. But I'm definitely getting the sense that something is being veiled right now. Like you don't see the whole picture. You can't tell exactly what's going on. But just based on this, since you have strength, it's saying really dig in deep, find your inner courage, really like kind of hold on to that feeling of just bravely moving into the woods. And I think that's what's going to carry you through. This might also be kind of a test for you so that you can find and activate your inner strength as well. But I do feel like you're going to need that to get through this period of time. But let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have nature communication, number 37, flower energies, fairy energies, elemental messengers. So many of you might be very tied in with the elemental kind of spirits. Fairy energies, obviously, like flower energies. So get out in nature. That might actually help you kind of make sense of this energy, or at least stay calm when it comes to what's coming into your life. But I think really just going out into nature and seeing what messages come to you, that is really going to help you. You have the right way, number 21, learning to create what you desire. So I really do think that that's what's going on right now, is you're trying to figure out how to create the life that you want. And maybe that's what these messages are coming in to tell you, is with that Fool and the High Priestess, it's like trying to challenge you to be brave enough to jump in, even if you have no idea what's coming. But that's the only way you're going to create the life you desire, is just by being brave and jumping in, seeing what happens. So that's really what I'm getting, is just that like sense of like trusting, even if you have no idea if it's going to turn out. And then your final Alice in Wonderland Oracle card is All in the Golden Afternoon. Inspiration, creative spark, imagination, conception, number 1. So yeah, you're at the very beginning. I do feel like this is the beginning of a new cycle for you. And really just jumping in is so important for you. I think you have to be brave enough to dive into whatever this change is, or whatever new phase you're kind of moving into. You have gratitude. So really expressing gratitude for what's already in your life is going to help, and kind of looking around and recognizing the people you have around you who are supporting you, the blessings that you have around you. You know, do you have a roof over your head? Do you have enough food? Just really taking note of these little things that seem kind of like they should be a given sometimes, but aren't. So just being aware of anything you might be taking for granted. I think that that is something that you can do to kind of tune in and stay grounded during this time. You have number 43, the Sage. So that's very much tied into the High Priestess energy, just kind of trusting in your inner wisdom and knowing that you are being led where you need to go, even if you have no idea where that is or how to get there. I think a lot of you have been through a lot already, and this is like another test. It feels like, it seems like you've made it through all your past tests with flying colors, and it seems like you're like, all right, where are my rewards? But the Sage here is saying, you know, you're learning these lessons, and I think it's time to kind of put what you've learned into action, but just know that you might not be aware of what's coming. You just have to trust and kind of move forward anyway. And then you've got a couple of the Oracle of Mystical Moments cards. So you have number 19, the Journey, and number 35, a Long Way Home. So just from the get-go, I feel like this is very much about the journey, like really trusting in every step you take. It's not about the end destination. It's just about making the choice to take the first step and jumping in. But I want to read from the book because these cards have a lot going on. So let's see what it has to say. So 19, the Journey. So the keywords and key phrases are love of adventure, curiosity, appreciation. So that's all very much the Fool energy, you know, love of adventure, in particular, in that curiosity, that's very much the Fool. And then appreciation also makes me think of this gratitude card. A young girl gently rides a deer. Both the girl and the deer are having fun on their adventure. They are playful and curious. Sometimes we get so caught up in the destination we forget to appreciate the journey. But if we neglect the little things on our path, like soft grass under our feet or the unconditional love of an animal, we are missing out on precious moments. A new friend or acquaintance with a different point of view can help us see things we may have overlooked. So that's what I was saying with the Fool, and like what I was saying about all the gratitude and everything is just taking note of those little things that you might take for granted and recognizing that it's not about the end destination, it is about the journey. And then we've got number 35, a long way home. So I love you're getting the word journey repeated, because for this one of the keywords is journey, and then you also have remembrances, experiences, passage. So this is very much about the journey for you. Look at this little elephant on his journey through the skies. He lives in a huge balloon and has his castle with him. Lights guide the way while he slowly passes over the horizon. How long is his journey, and when will it end? Will he drop anchor again or continue his travels? This card reflects how we pass through our lives. During our pilgrimage, we collect memories strong enough to fill a castle and light enough to buoy our voyage. So that's almost giving me a little touch of that High Priestess energy too, like how it says strong enough to fill a castle and light enough to buoy our voyage, and like collecting memories, collecting wisdom. I feel like this is very much just recognizing right now that this is kind of just putting to the test all of these things you've learned, recognizing that it is about just where you are right now, where you are on the journey, and not always having to look ahead or know the next destination in order to make the choice to take that journey in the first place. Like Alice, when she jumps down the rabbit hole, she has no idea what's down there. She's probably assuming it's like an actual rabbit hole and not leading her into this otherworldly place. So I think it's just saying you got to trust yourself and just make that leap, even if you have no idea where it's going. So your final oracle card is Phlox. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. So I feel like this is very much about connecting, with the universe, recognizing, I don't want to say your place in the universe, but recognizing how things are all interconnected, recognizing how just taking that first step is going to lead you to the next step, which is going to lead you to the next step. And had you made a different choice in the past, you wouldn't be exactly where you are or who you are today. And just recognizing how everything's working together. And harmony is also making me think of this nature spirit card as well, just connecting with nature, connecting with the people and with the animals and with the energy around you. So I feel like a lot of you are very attuned to whatever this chaotic energy is. And so it is kind of freaking you out a bit. But I think harnessing that and using it as like potential energy to push you to make the leap into the unknown is going to help you look at it in a way that's not going to be as scary, because I feel like a lot of you are just feeling very hesitant, very overwhelmed right now, and this is saying this is going to kind of help you embrace the joy and the excitement that it can also bring, because excitement and nervousness are virtually the same thing. It's just the thought processes behind them that dictate whether it's positive or negative. I'm going to get your charms now, but I also want to point out, I think blues, purples, and pinks are going to be like big power colors for you right now, because those are like, I'm seeing a lot of that in a lot of your cards. So those might be things that you're feeling very drawn to at the moment. You want to wear those colors. You're just very attuned to those colors. So just putting that out there. So let's get your charms and get some more information, kind of figure out what is going on. And we are going to use kind of the pinkish purple heart today, since I was mentioning that being a power color for you right now. So group one, let's figure out what is going on with this energy. Okay. So I love this. So you've got the bow and the quiver of arrows here in the heart. So that's kind of one of your focuses right now. I feel like this is about, you've got all this potential energy, just try aiming and then let go. Even if you can't see what you're aiming at, just pick a direction. It's saying you've got all of this power harnessed in you and things are going to launch forward, and that's what this like kind of overwhelming energy is. It's like, it's as if you were the arrow, like feeling that power that's kind of built into the string there. As someone pulls that back, that's really what I'm feeling, is that you're very tuned into that vibration right now. And I love this. I just noticed this too. You've got an arrow underneath. So maybe this is about love. Maybe you want to aim in a direction that has to do with love. It can be romantic love, but it can just be making a choice out of love and not out of fear. You've got the leaves here. So this is about your growth. I think this is going to lead you to a place where you will be flourishing as well. Even if it's feeling completely overwhelming and unexpected, I think things are going to change just like that. Like just instantly. It's going to probably freak you out with the lightning bolt. But you might get some epiphanies as well, since you are very tuned into that spiritual energy. And a lot is going on behind the scenes. So try not to worry about all the little, like, minute details, because that's not something you need to worry about right now. You've got a couple other dice here as well. You've got the castle with the drawbridge there. So just be aware of what energy you're taking in. Recognize that you can always pull up that drawbridge and block out the energy that is not welcome. So if things are getting negative or too overwhelming, you can always close up a bit and just, be very discerning about where your energy is coming from and who you allow in. And then music, I think, is going to be very tied in with things, so that might help you to heal as well. And you might be a musician, you might be very musical or find messages in music, but I feel like that's very tied into what's going on right now too. So if you want extra messages, try listening to some music and see if you get some extra insights from that. You have fairy energy here, so we were talking about fairy energy, so I do think like fairies are working with you quite a lot right now. That fairy energy, I think, is going to help you. So in keeping things like light and joyful and playful as well. You got a lot about that sense of play, which is very much about the Fool energy too. You have the Dove with the olive branch, so peace. I think a time of peace is coming, and you might want to be making a truce with someone, or somebody might be coming in to kind of make a truce with you, but just know that that peaceful period is coming in. Like, you won't be in this tumultuous period forever. We've got the person doing the splits. So your energy right now might feel very split. You might not know which direction to go. You might feel like there are two very like distinct possibilities of like where your life could go, or you might be trying to make a choice between two things. And then we've got the steps. So just taking small steps, recognizing that you can't take the whole staircase at once. You just have to take it step by step. So that's really what it's focusing on, is just focus on what's immediately in front of you. Don't try to worry about what's all the way down the line. You have the hanger here. So I feel like some of you feel like you've been left hanging, like things felt like they were going to change and then they didn't, or like somebody reached out to you and then just dropped the ball or something like that. But I feel like there's this energy of like, you feel like you've been left hanging either by a person or by the universe. And then finally, we've got the moon and star. So reaching for the stars, reaching for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. That phrase kind of comes to mind. But I think just recognizing your dreams can come true. I think wishing on stars might be something that kind of benefits some of you as well, because it kind of gives you a place to direct your energy so that you can really figure out what you want. Some of you might be caught up not really knowing what you want because you don't know how it's going to feel at the end. But this is just saying, just try to take that first step, like move in the direction that feels right. And I think if you make a wish, you'll know in that moment what you really want after all. So Group 1, I hope that this gave you some insights on what is going on with this energy and what you can do about it. I hope that this resonated with you, and I would love to hear if it does. So if it does, and if you feel comfortable, please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe if you feel so inclined. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope things do get better for you. It sounds like it will. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Hi, Group 2. So if you chose the Disney Alice in Wonderland deck, then this is your reading, so welcome. So as usual, we are starting with your tarot and oracle cards, and then we're going to do your charms at the end. So make sure that you stay tuned for that and get your full reading. And we are doing the charms a little bit differently, not totally differently, but just I've added in some story cubes here so that we can get some additional messages from those, because I haven't used them in a while. So yeah, let's figure out what's going on with this energy, what you can do about it, and just see what insights the cards and charms have for us. So for your tarot, you have the Seven of Hedgehogs, which is the Seven of Pentacles in this deck. You have the King of Flowers, so King of Wands. Six of Teacups, or Six of Cups. The Tower. And then the Page of Flowers, or Page of Wands. So yeah, that Tower card, I was expecting that to come out in at least one pile, even though we only have two, but that's the energy I feel like we're dealing with right now. It is crazy, it is unexpected, it might feel like chaotic, disappointing. You might be feeling like you have no idea how to handle this situation because you did not anticipate it at all. Like Alice probably did not expect to blow up and kind of explode out of this house, but that's definitely the energy we are working with. So for you, I'm just going to kind of start at the beginning. So with the Seven of Hedgehogs, Seven of Pentacles, I feel like for a while you've been waiting, maybe waiting for something to grow, waiting for the fruits of your labors to come in, but this is just this period of like kind of checking in and seeing if there's anything different you need to do. And I just feel like you've been kind of stuck in this waiting period for a long time. So there might be something from the past you're wanting to come in, maybe like reconnecting with things. Maybe you're connecting with nostalgia right now, connecting with somebody from your past, but there's just something like that maybe is something from your past that you didn't expect because we have the Tower and because this energy is so chaotic. But I feel like this is kind of telling you to just move forward because you have the King of Flowers and the Page of Flowers. So with these two, the King of Flowers is very determined. He's very like directed at where he wants to go. He knows where he wants to go. And it's just, he blazes ahead, he makes it happen. And the Page of Flowers is about exploration, about excitement and like getting enthusiastic about something new. So I feel like some of you might be kind of caught between waiting for something from your past to come back around, or waiting for things to change, and then deciding to move forward or deciding to take action rather than waiting around. So I feel like whatever this Tower moment is in your life, it's kind of urging you to start moving forward, start exploring your options, start seeing kind of what possibilities life has for you. But let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have number 35, never jam today. Promises that never come to be, empty words, not living in the now. So I think both piles are going to have a little bit about this, like just focusing on what's right in front of you, not worrying about what's all the way down the line, just like living in the now. So this does fit with your tarot cards. Not living in the now is making me feel like you have been kind of living in the past, or you've been waiting for the future, but you haven't been looking at what you can do right now to move things along. The promises that never come to be and empty words makes me think that maybe for some of you, somebody has not followed through on what they've said they would do, or a job hasn't come to fruition, even if they said, hey, you've got the job, but then you never heard anything back. Just something like that. But it can also be that you have not kept promises to yourself to move forward, to make a change, to follow through on what you said you would follow through on. Maybe you've been waiting for the perfect time and the perfect time just hasn't come. And this is telling you the perfect time is never going to come. You just have to make that choice and jump. So I feel like for most of you, that's what it is you kind of not keeping promises to yourself, but it could also relate to other people. You have serenity. So I think just finding that inner peace, that inner serenity, finding ways to just connect with that kind of energy. You have joy. So again, like connecting with joy, really focusing on the present, loving the present, focusing on the little things as well. And then you also have spirituality. So I feel like these are things that you can kind of focus your energy on right now. I've never really thought about this deck being for what to focus on in the future, or like in the current moment, but the first group I believe got gratitude. And so these are all kind of tied in together, where I feel like just focusing on things that are going to make you joyful and going to just bring you inner peace, I think are really important right now. And with spirituality, I feel like connecting with your spirituality is going to help you through this period too, whatever that spiritual practice is for you. And if you don't have one, maybe you'd like to start one, but those are things that are going to help you move through this energy. You have the Citizen, number 37. So this card is about kind of being a part of a whole, and having times where you want to stand out and be different and rebel, and then times that you just kind of have to follow the crowd a little bit. I don't want to say follow the crowd, but being a part of the crowd, doing your bit, doing your part, contributing. And that's what this is about, is really just focusing on when you need to be standing out and when you're okay just like following through and doing what needs to be done and that kind of thing. So I feel like right now that's what's going on, is you just need to focus on following through, get done what needs to get done, even if you feel like maybe you're meant for better things, you're meant for something different. You've got some stuff in front of you right now that you need to work on before you can follow through on those bigger things. So I think this is just urging you to try that kind of tried and traditional way for right now. It doesn't mean that's how you have to do things forever, but I think that's going to help you kind of keep the discipline to get things done in the current moment. And then you have a few Oracle of Mystical Moment cards. So group 1 got 2 of them and you got 3. So you have number 8, Red Garden. Number 30, White Rose of Hope. And then number 51, To the Moon and Back. So I'm actually going to read from the book for these, just because I feel like it gives you some additional good insights. So for number 8, Red Garden. All right, so your keywords, oh my goodness, gratitude, like I was talking about, pleasure, and happiness. So really focusing on your own joy. On this card, we see a woman strolling through a garden full of flowers. The sky glows with pink petals and the ground has turned a luminescent blue. The woman finds great peace in being one with nature. The flowers have become part of her body, and a parrot feels at home on her shoulder. During her walk down the path of life, she keeps happiness and gratitude in her heart. She notices the simple pleasures of life and is thankful for all nature has given her. So this actually ties in a bit with a card that we got in group 1 about really focusing on nature, connecting with nature to help bring you peace and joy and like giving you some more perspective. And I do think for you, flowers are tied in. Group 1 had some power colors. You, I feel like, really want to lean into either gardening, walking through a garden, but something about flowers I think is going to help you because you did get those 2 flowers tarot cards as well. And now we have number 30, White Rose of Hope. Your keywords are hope, beacon, solution, beginnings. We see a woman dressed in a blue gown standing somewhere in a lonely landscape. Darkness surrounds her, but a shining white rose glows like a beacon and illuminates the night. Maybe this woman is lost. Maybe she is uncertain about her feelings. Yet thanks to the light of the flower, she can find her way. White roses symbolize hope, new beginnings, admiration, and young love. There are exciting times ahead. So yeah, that exciting times I love because that's very much the Page of Flowers energy. And this almost gives me similar energy to the Star card in tarot. So really focusing, I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. So maybe that's something that's really standing out for you, but my cat is meowing. So just extra emphasis on that Star card in tarot. So following that sense of faith and finding excitement and joy and hope in this time when things are tumultuous, and the Star follows the Tower card, and you got the Tower card. So I feel like a lot of you just need to hold on to hope and recognize that things are going to get better. So just focus on that and try to stay connected to that. And then finally, you have To the Moon and Back, number 51, desires, wishes, longings. So that's also kind of Star energy, that wishes. Look at this woman sitting on a swing shaped like the moon. She gazes longingly into the distance as if she would like to be somewhere else. Although her skirt is made out of feathers, she stays seated and does not fly away. This card speaks about strong desires. Sometimes we crave what we don't have. Instead of taking action, we remain passive and let our dreams fall unknown. Let the powerful magic of the moon reveal any unpredictable desires. So I'm getting chills right now. I feel like this is very tied into what you're doing at the moment, is you're wishing that your life was different. You're wishing that things could change. You're wishing for something big and huge and beautiful, but you're not taking any action to go towards it. And some of you might not be able to take a ton of action, but you'd be surprised as to what you can do, like how much progress you can make just by putting your mind to it and kind of shifting your perspective and doing little things. You know, little things add up. So if you have a big dream, even just start by doing some research and then see what it would take to do step 1, you know, and then you can kind of build from there. But I think a lot of you just have waited and hoped that the time would kind of work itself out where there would be a better time to start working on this dream. Some of you might be waiting for help from somebody. Some of you might be waiting for just something to appear in front of you or for inspiration to strike. But there's a lot about waiting and not really taking action on your dreams. And I think you might be somebody who really gets caught up in the fantasy and like just the wishful thinking and maybe how things could have turned out differently, but you're not really moving towards it. You're not taking those actionable steps towards it. And that's what you need to be doing right now. And then finally you have Violet, faithfulness and modesty. Modesty is a shining light that prepares the mind to receive knowledge and the heart for truth. So for a lot of you, I feel like this is talking about really needing to take steps if you want things to change. I think a lot of you want to do something different. You want to stand out. But since you got that Citizen card, I initially read that as like you need to do things the tried and true way. I think that's true to some extent. Like you need to be taking those steps and just move forward step by step. Like you're not going to get, like I'm almost thinking of like when people would start acting as kids and they'd talk about how this actor got discovered. Like a lot of you, I feel like are almost waiting for that to happen. Like somebody's going to come and discover you instead of you moving forward, putting yourself out there, doing just the menial work to try to move towards whatever your dream or goal is. And with this, like this modesty, I feel like it's saying, you know, you are in some ways like everybody else, like you need to still take action and move forward. But I think it's also saying maybe you're being too modest. You're not tooting your own horn. You're not showing yourself. You're not showing up as much. You're not really putting yourself out there. And that might need to be what happens, is do that even if you feel afraid, or even if it seems like it's not the perfect time. Allow yourself to be seen. Because I think you get caught up in just like the machine of everyday life. And this is saying maybe you're being a little bit too modest. Maybe you're not showing yourself. Maybe you fashion yourself to be a very unique individual, but you're not showing that. You're not doing anything about it. So that's really what it's urging you to do. So we are going to get your charms now for some more information. And we are going to use the heart to figure out kind of what's in the heart of the situation, what you can control, what it's urging you to really pay attention to. So group 2, what is going on with this energy and what can you do about it? Okay. So you also got one of these story cubes here. Yeah. You've got Zeus here with his lightning bolt, and he looks pissed. So I feel like some of you are feeling kind of punished by the universe. This makes me think of like the tower moment that you might have experienced, but it's also making me feel like some of you are waiting for this divine intervention to come in and change your life, instead of going, hey, I have the power to do things to move my life forward. You might not have the power to change it in one fell swoop, but you do have the power to make some subtle changes that are going to add up over time. You've got the cat here that's playing with the little ball of yarn. So I think play and joy are going to be very important. That is a message that group 1 got as well. And then this is a charm that group 1 actually also got. Focusing on your dreams, shooting for the moon and landing amongst the stars, just going for it. I think that's really important right now, is just that urge to like go for it and treat it like a game. With that cat there being playful, don't put so much pressure on yourself, because I feel like a lot of you are very hard on yourselves, and it's like you're kind of self-sabotaging that way by going, oh, if I'm not perfect, I'm not even gonna bother. Because I'm like looking at this no right here. I feel like you might have been rejected a lot, or you might be worrying about getting rejected, but it's just saying go for it anyway. You probably will get rejected, because that's just a stepping stone towards future success, but that's really important to just keep in mind. You have this, which is music. I think like group 1, they also got this one. Music is very important right now. So some of you might even be performers, that you want to put your music out there, you want to put your performance out there. But otherwise, I think just music is very important right now. It can help you manifest. It might be sending you messages. You might be getting signs in lyrics, or a certain song might just be stalking you. Like you might hear it on the radio, and then you hear it when you walk into a store, and then somebody mentions it to you, just stuff like that. So pay attention to those kinds of synchronicities. You have the lion here. So bravery, really being brave enough to go for it. That's Leo energy too, which is performing. It's putting yourself out there. It's being seen. You have the ice cream cone, so that could have to do with summer. Makes me think of treating yourself as well, just like really indulging, and it makes me think of being a kid following the ice cream truck around if you live somewhere where you have an ice cream truck. So I feel like just that playfulness, the joy, the kind of youthful energy, maybe that's something you're nostalgic for too, is when life was simple and you didn't have to worry about things. But just do little things that help remind you of that, but try not to get caught up so much in that you refuse to live in the now. You have the ship's wheel, which is about steering your way to your own destiny. So I think this is the universe saying you have more power over your destiny than you're giving yourself credit for. So recognize when you have the chance to make a change, or to do something subtle, or to take a step forward, and try to push yourself a little bit to do those things, even if it's scary. And then you have the cat here. So this could have to do with like a black cat, like being bad luck. Sometimes that's what I get. But this also makes me think of, I don't know if there's like a myth with this, but I'm just getting this kind of story in my head, so bear with me here. Just like the cat that kind of wanders into unlikely places, and things blow up and everything, and then it comes out completely unscathed and unharmed. So trust that you will be unharmed. Things might change and you might feel like scared and scattered, but trust yourself and trust the universe to kind of get you through these tumultuous times. And I think just taking steps, trusting that you'll land on your feet as well. That's cat energy, always landing on your feet, even when you're getting tossed out a window, that kind of energy. And then with the rooster here, that's like a wake up call. That's the universe trying to get your attention. So I feel like there are like signs and synchronicities telling you to go for it. And some of you might be like hesitating or you might be ignoring these signs, but this is like, wake up. The time is now. It's here. Yes, things are scary right now and it's going to feel tumultuous, but as soon as you start taking more steps forward, things are going to start to balance out and you're going to start laying that foundation. And then you'll start recognizing like how much power you have over your own life. So, group 2, this was a loaded reading. I know I talked pretty fast, so I apologize for that, but I hope that this resonated with you. I would love to hear if it does. I would love to hear details about your situation if you feel comfortable sharing them, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe if you feel so inclined. I hope that things turn out for you. It seems like there's just a lot of like exciting energy coming your way, so I hope that that does turn out that way. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time.